This week's episode of the Mimics Fail is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea. Treat yourself to 15% off of an order of daring and delicious tea at tasteinvader.co.uk using code TMV. And today we welcome our newest patron, Max. Hello, Max. And this week we adventure the lands of Limbo with Kulebra. We take a tour of the Steam Next Fest demos, and we venture online with the Switch 2 to relive the wonders of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
So because I'm still in that phase of, I've got a brand new toy, I've got the Switch 2, all I want to do is play it. So you kind of like, you're forcing yourself to play your Mario Kart world, just getting all the characters, all the costumes. You might be playing some Welcome Tour, frantically rubbing your thighs with mouse controls. But what I was really looking forward to is playing the Wind Waker again. So this is the first time I've played it since 2003, whenever it came out on the GameCube. I have never played it since, whereas I played like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, I played all them in the intervening years. Never touched Wind Waker, so I gave myself a bit of time, so I had a wee shot at Soul Calibur, played a bit of F-Zero GX, gave myself a day or two. I was like, right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to properly play the Wind Waker with the GameCube controller as well, as God intended, and it is lovely. Like like I said, I've never played the HD remake, so I've got nothing to really compare it against in terms of upgrades. But it really takes me back to 2003, slapping that thing into my GameCube and having a
what we were slapping there.
and having a real good time. It's just such a lovely game. And I remember when it first came out, folk were moaning at how it looked. But it is one of those games from that time that has aged impeccably. It is gorgeous. There's nothing bad that you can say about that game. It is so good. Even down to the points where you get like little ledges that Link has to sidle along, and he's like up against the back wall. And when you start moving along, he probably does a little like eyebrow cock and squints his eyes, and he shimmies along the wall. It's just so cool. It's such a lovely game. It's like, it's just one of those classic old school Zelda games that I think has that. It's got that special sauce.
It has,
as Reese might say.
Yep.
There is one thing that I found difficult, and Ben, we touched on this briefly a few days ago, in that the camera controls are inverted. So I think when you first start the game, you're up some watchtower, come down the stairs, down the ladder even, and as soon as I got off the ladder, I just went straight into the water, straight into the sea. I was like, oh God, okay, got back up the small ladder to the deck again, boom, straight back in the water. And I was like, right, I'm pretty sure I remember reading that I can remap this, and you can, which makes it far easier. At least going left and right, I don't think you can really do it effectively for up and down, but at least left and right is doable. So that's the only thing I've really struggled with, and even then that was for 2 minutes at the start of the game.
Other than that, it feels pretty modern, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I don't know if it's because I'm used to playing, or there is now in games the option to hold down a button and you'll run faster. So like in Elden Ring, or even in Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, hold down B, I think it is, and you'll sprint.
Yeah.
You'll use some energy to sprint. That's not there.
Right.
And I guess that's common amongst older Zelda games.
Yeah.
That's why people would backflip or forward roll.
Yeah, good point.
Because it at least gave the impression of getting somewhere
an extra
quicker
bit of speed if you're just going hip, hip, and rolling
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it actually makes any difference, but
No.
at least it's like at least you're doing something. You're just hitting to do a little 60 forward roll. But there's so much that I forgot about it. Like if you are going to be attacked, and you time it right, like the A button will flash. You can do a little sideways roll around the back of the person and slice up their back, which I totally forgot about. And then I remembered, because later in the game you have to like undress the baddies to be able to fight them, to be able to damage them. They've got like a big stitching up the back.
Take them to
and
dinner.
Swipe up. Yeah. Polish their rings and that kind of thing. Just so much stuff that I forgot. Like I'm still in this sort of, where am I? Dragon Roost Island, so I'm not too far. Maybe a couple of hours, 2.5 hours or so into the game. Again, just kind of taking my time with it. I want to enjoy the 20 hours or so I think it'll take to get to the end. But it's just such a nice game. I don't remember appreciating how nice it was back in the day. But I think now that I'm of an older vintage, I can be like, this is all about taking your time and exploring the seas, seeing what treasures you can find.
And it's just as well you are playing that version of it, because there's way more of that, I think, as well. I think they added some stuff to the Wii U version that sped things up a little bit to modernise it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So I think there's more fannying about in this version of it that we've got on the Switch.
Okay.
But I'm all right. That's part of the nostalgia, isn't it? So, remember when you used to have to do this in games? Like you said about the rolling thing. It's all just... It's funny how I feel like that era of games has aged really well. Considering it's like the generation after the N64 and all of that stuff, which has aged not so well, I would say. And that's not even me being an N64 troll. That's like,
You're right.
I think it's fair.
Visually.
But GameCube, you fire up all three of these GameCube games on NSO, and they all look great. Like F-Zero
especially
runs beautifully.
in widescreen.
Exactly, yeah. And it's a shame you can't play this in widescreen, but it was never a feature of the original game. So, how much of it do you remember? 20 odd years ago.
Well, like I've obviously seen and watched videos about Zelda games in the time on YouTube. It's what I spend quite a lot of time just doing that generally. So like I remember some bits. I remember the end. I remember songs more than anything else as well. But yeah, I guess not. Like I know where I am now, like Dragon Roost Island. I cannot remember where I'm going next.
No.
Actually, sorry, when you go.
No, go on, carry on.
I was going to say, just as I remember, because I've inverted the left and right, when you get the Wind Waker on Dragon, before you get to, is it before Dragon Roost? Or on Dragon Roost, I can't remember. But anyway, you learn a song on Dragon Roost Island.
Right.
And I was like, I'm doing this right. It was like up, right, left.
Oh, so it uses the C
right,
stick that you've inverted.
Yes.
Oh.
And it's inverted, so I was like, right, okay, it's easy enough to get around that. But also on that, I forgot about if you hold, hold left on the analog stick, you get 4x4, like 4 beats on a bar. Is that right?
Right.
Terminology, I forget.
Yeah.
And if you hold left, I think it's like 5. Like, I can't remember. Like it's like 5/6 or something weird, some weird tempo.
Right.
And then it's 3. It's three beats on a bar for just normal.
No, I've got no memory of that at all. I
hadn't
barely
either.
remember anything. I can remember like the one. I kind of don't want to spoil it, but one bit that stands out when you get like the big sort of reveal of what's happened to the world, kind of thing. That bit. But beyond that, like I can't remember a single boss battle, or because I only played it through once. It's probably one of the first games I ever finished, I think, back in the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can remember sitting upstairs in my little attic when I was at uni, and just playing through that by myself. And It was brilliant. I loved the GameCube back then. I'm so pleased that it's on NSO. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into stuff that I haven't played as well. But yeah, Wind Waker is like definitely a top 5 Zelda game, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think like this, then going into Twilight Princess, like Twilight Princess was that knee-jerk reaction to be like, oh, you don't like cutesy? Well, we're going to make it gritty.
Dark.
We're going to go real dark.
Going to make the graphics rubbish.
These are the last. These are the last 2 games before everything kind of changed with Zelda. Because after Twilight Princess, you got Skyward Sword, which was so determined on motion controls, and folk weren't a massive fan of it. It has a good story, but like the actual gameplay, not as good. And then you go straight into Breath of the Wild, which is totally different.
Yeah,
it's totally changed.
True.
So like in the last couple of those like classic Zelda experiences.
And then obviously you got the DS spin-offs from this as well, Phantom Hourglass and what's the other one?
Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks, yeah. Which I I think I finished both of those as well. I really enjoyed them. I know people.
I struggled with Phantom Hourglass.
The bit with the going back to the tower and stuff in Phantom Hourglass was shite, wasn't it? But yeah, that art style though is just still so fresh now. Like they could easily,
I mean, it was
make games like that still.
It was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
I would say that art style in that game, like it was very much one of the first kind of cel shaded games that really stood out.
Yeah.
And as you say, that's probably a big part of why it does hold up.
Yeah, it's just big and clean, and it's the first time you alluded to it, Lewis, when you mentioned the eyebrow cock. Was like Link's face is just expressive, and all the characters, like we hadn't had that before because it was all pixels or polygons, but this was like the first time. He's got this massive head with a lovely expressive face, and it was like, he's got some personality now. That was quite cool. Did you ever play it, Alex, back in the day?
I never ever played it on the GameCube. I don't think. Certainly, I've got a feeling I owned it in the GameCube. No recollection of ever playing it. I definitely played a little bit of it in the Wii U because I'm sure they gave it away for free or something. Like that was one of the ones at one point I think they either gave for next to nothing or gave for free. I played a little bit of it, but I've certainly not played much of it at either time. But I remember like how it looked, and I remember learning, as Lewis was saying there, like some of the Wii songs. I remember that bit of it. That's about it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the next step on your Nintendo. Your villain arc turnaround is play through all the Zelda games, just like become a Zelda nut.
I almost fell off my chair there.
But still getting used to liking Nintendo. It's a shocking experience.
I mean, been a few revelations this week, honest.
But yeah, that I would say, if you are going to do that, I would play this before you play Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I feel like this is a more vital Zelda game to play.
And I have ordered Link's Awakening as well.
And that is fucking lovely as well.
On your Game Boy?
No, I ordered the Switch one.
Yeah, okay.
Now that it runs well.
I found myself doing that, loading into some games. Like I played very, very briefly both Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and Mario, Bowser's Fury, Mario World, Super Mario 3D World, that's the one, just to see the difference. And I fucking make any difference. Like, I actually went to Kokiri Forest. I was like, right, it's not juddery as fuck. This is better.
Yeah.
In Breath of the Wild, but other ones, I'm like, I can't notice any upgrades really. They are there, but like to the layman's eye, to the Lewis eye, that I cannot see any real difference. There will be some absolute freaks who'll wank all over that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm.
That's a horrible fucking thought I'm putting everyone's head there.
That screen's got
Fire
off
up Link's Awakening. I love that. I'm
Don't talk about Mark like that.
similar. I played Tears of the Kingdom, and I was like, I think this might look better. You know, kind of like, yeah, it seems good. Seems like it's running well, but I don't remember it being terrible before. The only difference I noticed was like everything on the, what's the underground stuff called?
The depths.
The depths. Everything there was way lighter, and I felt like I could see everything suddenly.
Oh, really?
And then I was like, is my HDR fucked up on my TV? So I kind of tinkered around with it after that. Because, yeah, I know you can kind of like light those bulbs or whatever the underneath of the shrines.
See, yeah.
But I could literally see everything in the depths. I was like, either they've patched this to make it less ominous or something's very wrong. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really notice any difference at all. I'm sure there are differences, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, how are we? How are we sitting with Switch 2 now, 2 weeks in?
It'd be good to have more games.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the big negative of it, but the actual Switch 2 itself, I'm very happy with. Like,
Yeah.
it's changed my horizon on life in gaming. Like, I've completely found a little bit of love for just gaming again and not like playing for. I've always been that person that moaned, "Oh, I wish there was trophies and achievements on a Switch." And then I was playing a game this week, and it was a bit like, it's got all these collectibles, and I'm like, "Oh, well, it's telling you how many there are left," and I'm like, "Oh, I need to find these," and I'm like, "No, I don't, because there's no trophy, there's no achievement. I can just do what I want to do, and I can just enjoy the game."
Enjoy it, yeah.
And I'm like, it was like a proper epiphany. I'm like, this is how it should be.
This is what Lewis has been saying for years. It's like,
we just need to listen to Lewis.
Yeah, but like,
go on.
On you go.
I was going to say, I think it might be and this, I don't want to like be negative about it because I know everyone's just bought a Switch 2 and they don't want to hear someone being negative about it because we all want to feel good about our things that we spent a lot of money on. I think it might be a bad handheld in the sense that I don't think it's very comfortable to hold at all.
Even more so than the first one.
Yeah, I don't remember ever.
But the added size, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the extra width or the extra weight, whatever it is, or just the distribution of the weight, but it's noticeably less comfortable than the Steam Deck and the Portal. Like
And
Yeah.
I think that's the flatness.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that I don't know if accessory makers have anticipated this, because I don't ever remember the Switch launching new accessories that came with essentially grips to get around that idea, because the Trans Novo set that I bought for the starter pack, so it was I just needed a case more than anything else, but within the case, the screen protector, a little stand, and then two grips, or like Joy-Con covers. But I didn't notice at first when I put them on that they had like an added like bit at the back to grip, and I'm like, that's the accessory that I didn't realise I needed.
Yeah.
But I use it all the time because it just makes it comfier. And I'm like, so yeah, it feels like when people have seen this design and potentially in testing, they've been a bit like, I think you do need something for that kind of grip. And you see it now as well with like Xbox's new handheld and the way they've moved from like the base Ally to this Ally 2, and again they've gone for that more controller hold, and it's just comfier. You're never going to get that with a Joy-Con, but I do feel like a grip accessory is one that is required.
Yeah, it does feel like that. There's the few times that I've tried playing it handheld, very quickly my hands start cramping. And I didn't get that with the old Switch. I got it after like a couple of hours with the old Switch, but this is like 5 minutes in. I'm like, I played Fast Fusion on the bus today for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And that was enough. Like it was genuinely uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to invest in one of those. Was it Genki? Is it Attack Vector? Is that what it's called, or something like that?
Or they get something like that. Yeah.
Or a similar grip thing. Which again, I know there was that like Satisfy grip and others for the OG Switch that I know a lot of people had, but I never felt like I needed it. But now it's like, I think the ergonomics are a little bit off, unfortunately. For me, anyway.
I've not had any
You
of
also
that. But
wonder if there's a little bit of the fact our hands have got used to the Steam Deck and the Portal and that kind of shape of handheld as well, and we know what it feels like on there, and there's almost a psychological thing that that's not where my hands should be while I'm playing it.
Yeah.
There's maybe a little bit of that.
Yeah, because your fingers are kind of resting along the flat back of it. It just feels, it's a whole different way of holding it that just feels off. And even if I'm like, sitting in bed, resting it on a cushion or something, it still doesn't,
on your thigh.
on my thigh, on one of my meaty thighs, it still doesn't feel quite right. Which is odd. Like I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Because the actual feel of it
It's like-
is premium. They've obviously polished most of it to perfection, but
Kind of like what we were talking about the other week about resting the thing. I rest it on my pinkies. Really developing those rivulets.
maybe that's what I need to do. I need to hit the gym. I'm
my
working my
fingers.
rivulets.
Just get that. So I've
You
got
some
like
of those little finger weights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. Other than that,
What kind of workouts that you're doing?
I've just got to switch to just yeah, just here for that.
Get some
But yeah,
pinky curls.
so I am not finding myself. I'm finding myself like you kind of said, Lewis, at the start, was like trying to play Switch 2. Like I should be playing this, and I wanna play something on it, but I'm like every time I do, it feels a bit. I don't know. It's hard to sit down and get cozy with the game. I've sort of started a game that I'll probably talk about next week that might be that sort of cozy game. But if I can't literally be comfortable playing it handheld, that makes it quite difficult. But yeah, it's an odd state of affairs. And in fact, it's so extreme that it has somewhat driven me back to my Steam Deck. So I have already gone back and
You've ditched it.
cheated on the Switch 2 and had a lovely old time with the Steam Deck, because obviously it has been Steam Next Fest, which
Yeah.
really, like, I feel like Nintendo could do with doing something like this, because it does make you want to try new games and just dip in, dip out, and try some new stuff. And it almost like, the pull of Next Fest and trying out those new games was stronger than the pull of, playing with this new toy that I've just spent hundreds of pounds on. But yeah, so I've got a few Next Fest demos that I could run through. Lewis, to get you involved, as you're not a Steamboat Willie, do you want to pick? I've got them all written in the show notes. Do you want to pick one at random that you want to hear about?
I want to hear about Truxton Extreme.
I thought you might, because that is the silliest name of all of them. Alex, you said you'd heard of this, right?
I had, because I'm sure it was shown either around or on one of the showcases
Right.
at Summer Game Fest.
I'd never heard of Truxton, because this is like not the first Truxton game, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, but it's basically a vertical, like a old school arcade vertical shoot 'em up, like in the truest sense, like a pure bullet hell. None of this bullet heaven nonsense. It's like a proper, like Ikaruga or Super Celeste or something like that. That's just, you're a spaceship and you're shooting shit and you're trying not to get shot, and looks really slick and plays really slick as well.
You're a big fan of these games, eh? Shmups.
I am. I don't know. I
You're a shmup guy.
always have been, like from the sort of 16-bit era, like playing UN Squadron and R-Type and stuff like that, and even Pop and Twinbee on the Super Nintendo. That was good. A cute 'em up, if you will. But yeah, this is really good. Really, like, as I said, just slick. Like, it feels like a modern one of them. And yeah, there's a nice little, really sort of simple, I forget the mode, the name of the mode, but like an easy mode to kind of get used to the controls. You just sort of play one level And yeah, I love it. It kind of like that. The presentation of it, Alex, reminded me of that Rezo gun. I know that was like
Yeah.
a horizontal shooter, but just particle effects and lasers and just cool. Sometimes games just need to look and feel cool, and that is enough for me. Like pure arcade fun. And yeah, good, promising. This is one of the, I would say this was like the middle tier of how I found these Next Fest demos.
Cool.
It was one I thought when I seen it on the showcase, I thought this looks quite good. I think I would quite enjoy this.
Yeah.
Like it did go quite well. So I'm quite happy to hear that it seems to play decently.
Good.
Can I ask a question about Steam Next Fest?
Yeah.
Are these demos not available all the time?
I think they tend to
No,
go
they usually
live during Next Fest, and sometimes they stick around after it ends. So like this one ends on 16th of June.
The demo ends.
Yeah, they get taken down again.
Some
But a lot of them stay
right.
on beyond that, basically. But yeah, it's good.
And sometimes, like if they've been shown at like maybe one or two Next Fest, they'll have like a different demo at each one as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Death Howl, like I said, I played that last time, and I think there's a new demo for that this time, which I haven't played this time. But yeah, give us another, Lewis. Give us another one.
Passant.
Passant or Passant. I don't know. One or the other.
I think I'd maybe say Passant.
I'd say yeah, Passant. Sure. So this is, what is it? This described as is it a chess roguelike that they call it? Yeah.
Yes.
It is. It is a chess roguelike, and so clearly trying to ape Balatro in its presentation that it's almost like I wish they hadn't. I wish they'd found their own style a little bit. But like there's a CRT filter. There's sound effects, and the font is a bit Balatro-esque, and it's a little bit like there's a really fucking cool game here. They don't need to be. That's not what made Balatro popular. Like, come up with your own kind of look and feel. That's a real shame. Like it works, like mechanically, it's brilliant. And if you like chess, and you like roguelikes, like it's really good. It's just a shame. I think they've done themselves a kind of a disservice because it looks like they've just gone, well, let's just do Balatro but with chess kind of thing, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's a nice twist on that formula. Like between rounds, you'll go to a shop like you do in Balatro, and you can buy new chess pieces or different buffs. I think they call them badges that have different effects and stuff. So one of the effects that I started with was like having a whole different chess piece that wasn't a normal chess piece, but it had the ability to, you can't take anyone, but you can lock any adjacent pieces so that they can't move, and like little twists like that. So it's cool. It's cool. I just really wish they'd had the confidence to go, right, let's come up with our own look and feel kind of thing. Because I think that does.
It is very Balatro, isn't it?
Yeah, the layout and the UI and everything is very clearly inspired by that. And it's just it's a shame because I think it cheapens what is, like, mechanically a really cool game. Like, it's. But yeah, good one. And I enjoyed playing it. And it's only like, I mean, I'm sort of critiquing it for critique's sake, but because it doesn't detract from the actual gameplay, but it does make me feel like, shame they didn't commit to something else,
I'd say it almost implies from the name of the publisher and developer that it's made by one person called Mark.
Oh, Mark makes games, yeah.
Mark makes games, so...
Well, fair enough, Mark, maybe UI isn't your thing. You have to take some inspiration. But no, cool, really cool game. And if you like chess and roguelikes or both of those things, definitely want to keep an eye on. Passant.
Right, one, I'm going to go for two. The next two, I think, are going to be at the upper tier of your thoughts.
Ooh, okay.
This is a guess. Next one, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, I think that noise.
This Lewis, you would fucking love this game.
It looks pretty
It
cool.
is very cool. So it's how do we say it? .emu. .emu. So it's them and Game Kitchen, who made Blasphemous.
Yes.
And it's just fucking cool 2D ninja shit, basically. Like The Messenger, like the first half of The Messenger, but almost more crazy, more kind of, it felt more old school action platformer. Like there's enemies just constantly coming at you, and you've got a wicked move set, and it's just like, there's no time to think. You're just reacting to stuff, bouncing off stuff, and climbing up walls, hanging off ceilings, and it's really cool. I think it's gonna score well.
It looked really good, and like I hadn't noticed it said Blasphemous. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, it looks very Blasphemous, and like Castlevania, but then also at the same time, what's the ninja in a bathrobe?
Katana Zero.
Katana Zero at the same time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is like that. It's just you've got a cool moveset, you're zipping around, and if you like that, it's fun. Like the tutorial's really good, teaches you all those moves that you need, and then it just goes right. Now you've got some demons attacking your burning village, as is the case with all ninjas. You have to get out of a burning village, it's just it's very cool. And that pixel art that you said is crisp, really good fun.
It looks like it might have a good soundtrack.
Yeah, strong, and that's coming out not July or August, I think.
31st of July.
Yeah, not long at all. That's a good one. What was the other one that you thought? Go on, Alex. Sorry.
The other one that I think might be a favourite is Absolum.
Absolum. Yeah, no idea how to say it, but it is. What made you think it might be a favourite?
Because it kind of looks. It kind of looks like I don't know, maybe a bit like Hades, maybe a bit like the Turtles game. It's a game by .emu. It's got that. It's really nice looking. It's got a really nice art style to it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Are you saying this isn't? Do you hate it?
No, it is. It is. Yeah, as you said, Hades. It is basically Hades, but a beat 'em up. You know, like a Turtles or Streets of Rage style beat 'em up, but with that kind of Hades format. That art style. It starts off with a really lovely animated sort of cutscene to begin with, and it's really, really well made. Do you remember a game? This is testing your Switch knowledge, but back in the early days of the Switch, there was a game called Wolverblade.
I recall the name, but I can't remember it.
It was basically you're playing a bunch of Scottish people that are fighting against the English, but it was like you'd love it, and it was like really crisp art style. It's just a beat 'em up kind of brawler, but it's good fun, and it reminded me of that. There's simultaneous like 2-player co-op. I think you can do that online as well, which is cool. Didn't play a ton of it, but it looked like if you're in the mood for one of those belt scrollers, then this looks like a really good one of them.
Was this on a showcase? Was this on something? I feel like I recognise the logo. I feel like it was shown somewhere.
It's
now it's ringing a bell now, but looks good.
There's been so many showcases the last few weeks. I've completely lost track of all of them. But yeah,
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Have we spoke about your favourite so far?
Oh,
I would say no.
Let me see. I don't think we have. No, we haven't.
What is your favourite? What's the first letter of your favourite game?
I've got two, I would say.
Okay, what
Does one begin with a B?
One begins with a B. Yeah.
Okay. What's the other one?
The other one begins with an I.
Aye. Okay. What about Morsels then?
Okay, Morsels. Yeah. So I was quite excited about this when that was first revealed, because obviously Sam Webster, friend of the show,
Friend of the show.
does the soundtrack and is involved in the development as well, I think. And the look and feel of it was kind of Animal Wellish. It plays like Binding of Isaac, I would say, in that you feel like like it's a twin stick shooter. You kind of feel a bit weak to start with, like you just firing a little pea shooter at people. It's weird. Like, I love the style of it, but I feel like maybe it doesn't demo well. Like, maybe you need to, as was the case with Binding of Isaac, like it wasn't until like several runs in that you go, oh, I unlock this power, and suddenly the game opens up and things become more fun. Like, to start with, it was all a bit weird and a bit, it didn't click immediately, I would say. Despite how cool it looks, it didn't quite grab me gameplay-wise, I would say.
This game got, I think, one of the first Lewis's likenings.
And I remember what it was, because as I was playing it, I thought, Atomic Crops.
Atomic Crops. That's the one.
Yeah, because it does look very similar to that, albeit with that sort of CRT filter and weirdness about it. But it's cool. I don't want to like write it off now, because I think there's clearly more to it than me playing it for 15 minutes, half an hour can really do justice to. So I think that one's a wait and see for me.
Okay. All right. What about now? Is it Ball by Pit? Ball times Pit?
I think it's just Ball Pit.
Or Ball Pit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because there was a Devolver like showcase after Day of the Devs or something, and I'm pretty sure they called it Ball Pit. But yeah, Ball X Pit, but I think it's called Ball Pit. This should
be Ball Excellent Pit.
Have you played it, Alex? Have you played the demo?
Yes.
Okay. How much of an Alex game is this?
It's like I've never played any more than Alex game in my life.
It's ridiculous. You take it away, because I feel like I was playing this thinking, this is absolute crack to Alex.
Oh yeah. So I mean, this is like a cross between Vampire Survivors and like a pachinko type game. So basically, you're this little guy that's firing all these balls at all these enemies that are coming towards you, and it's all about basically trying to angle the balls to get the most bounces between them to like take out all the enemies at each bit, and then you're working towards a boss, and there's like 3 or 4 stages within the level, and as you get to like the end of each stages, the pit gets wider, so you'll have more enemies in a row to try and take out, but you're doing that Vampire Survivor thing as you're going, that you're leveling up and then getting like different types of balls, so you can level your balls up. You can get fireballs, you can get all these random types of balls that do random things, and then you get like little power-ups that are like little rainbows that are flashing, and then you can start to like upgrade the weapons, or you can merge the weapons. I can't remember the word.
It's fusion, isn't it?
Basically fused. Yeah. You fuse the weapons, and then you can get like a super fusion, which is making the weapons like even more. And it's just like you could just be sitting there and you're staring at the screen, and the eyes are going square because these balls are bouncing all over the place, and you're like, and it's so satisfying. Like, see, the first time like I beat the big boss, like the first, and I'm like, so good. So this is. I'm assuming this is only coming to Steam at the moment. I'm not written too much against. I've not looked into it too much because I'd completely missed it. And then I played it, and I like absolute crack.
Yeah. It's cool, and the presentation is cool. Like, the music is banging as well. Like, it really, everything is singing in this game. Like, I think this could be this has got the potential, and I don't want to invoke Balatro again, but I think it's got that sort of potential to be on that level. Like, it is that good. Yeah.
Oh no, was it this you were saying that says Switch, Steam and Xbox?
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Just watching
I'll absolutely get it.
video for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a a strong recommend just off the strength of that demo. I think that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And then the other one for me that I really liked was Into the Grid. And this is sort of again, I feel like these are just hybrids we're talking about. This is Citizen Sleeper crossed with Slay the Spire, basically. Like, need I say more? It is just the Citizen Sleeper style cyberpunk look to it. The UI is very Citizen Sleeper, like very, very Citizen Sleeper, but then
the font,
everything, even the little bleeps and bloops, everything about it.
Oh, really?
And then the battle system is just deck building, card battles, but you're sort of from a first person perspective squaring off against these monsters and robots and stuff. And I don't know, I really wasn't sure of it to start with. Like the first 5 minutes I was like, this isn't optimized for Steam Deck. I'm not sure I can stick to this. Like I was having to use the little mouse pad and everything, and the text was too small and it was a little bit blurry, and I was like, I might have to try this another time. But I stuck with it, and the gameplay is just fucking cool. Like, and the soundtrack is cool. That side, I just, something about that UI, I really love that style, and I do appreciate having slated Passant for ripping off Balatro. This has clearly been inspired by Citizen Sleeper, but it just works. It all comes together as a nice cohesive package, and I think that between this and Ball Pit, I think these are my two strongest picks that I've played so far. Very, very cool. But yeah, it's brilliant.
Lovely.
It's nice just being able to try all these little bits and bobs. And the only other one that I played was Gecko Gods, which I saw.
Which we played a long time ago, didn't we? Because we played that at EGX maybe 2 years
I don't remember
ago.
ever playing it.
It was at the Super Rare booth. That was one of the ones at Super Rare, and there was that, and there was, what was the one with all the blood? The really fast one, fast shooter. There was like 3, but yeah, it was because I think it's a Super Rare original, eventually.
It is.
So because I remember playing it, and you were just a little gecko, but it felt like at that point in time you were just wandering around and you couldn't really understand what the game was.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel much to it. So I'm hoping the demo maybe gives you a wee bit more into it, what the actual game is.
Yeah, it was. Only reason I tried this because, again, to shout him out, but John from Gaming in the World put like his little breakdown of games on Blue Sky, and I think he singled this one out, and it's one I hadn't heard of. But yeah, it's got that sort of Sable-ish art style to it. Is it Mobius? Is that the artist? I don't know. I'm out of my depth talking about that. But the movement and everything of the gecko is... It's got the same way Stray nailed what it's like to control a cat. I feel like this probably nails what it's like to be a lizard. Shame it's not a chameleon. That would have been great.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just a trick there. But yeah, it's just cool. Obviously, being able to climb up every wall and every ceiling and everything does introduce camera issues. Like I did notice that definitely. Like, oh, what way am I going? Oh, now I need to press down in order to go up, and it's like there's a bit of that going on. But yeah, super charming and promising, even with that wonkiness, because it seems pretty low stakes that it doesn't really matter if you get turned around now and again. But yeah, promising. Yeah. But yeah, that's my
Lovely. That's
my next best roundup.
Well, and it finishes when? It'll be long gone by the time this podcast
I think
goes
maybe
out.
just as this comes out.
I think it finished on the 16th.
Today, yeah. I can add one to that list because there's only one other demo that I've played, and that's Starbird. And I've only played a little bit of it, but this is the one from Tucana, like the Dorfromantic
Oh yeah,
developers.
Nice.
It seems quite interesting. So basically, you're in this little, and it all seems far more like produced than Dorfromantic, because Dorfromantic's just very straightforward, and you're just doing this puzzle. Whereas there's little cutscenes and everything to this to introduce you all and the characters, and it basically feels like, from what I've played so far, is you're going exploring the galaxy, but you need to gather resources to enable you to upgrade and keep going. So you go in into these like asteroids and stuff to go and see what resources they have, and then you start mining resources from the planets, and it's all quite nice and quite cool. You land and create a landing pad, and then you need to get like different tools to go in and export the minerals, and then you need to join that up to the landing pad, and you can only connect so many to the landing pad, and you've got limited resources to join all these up. So it's like resource management but resource extraction survival type gameplay, but seems quite nice, and it's very vibrant and colourful, which I think Dorfromantic has to an extent as well. So yeah, seems decent enough from what I've played. Very,
nice.
very
Nice
different. It looks lovely. It's very different to Dorfromantic, so I think if you're thinking it's going to be something like Dorfromantic, I don't think it is at all. Certainly from what I've played so far, it doesn't feel anything similar to me. It's didn't even feel like that much of a puzzle at that point in time. I'm sure maybe as you go further in, it might introduce some puzzle elements to it, but it didn't feel like there was puzzleness to it. It just felt like you have these on this asteroid or this planet, so you need to do this to complete this quest, so you can go there or go there, and it was just a case of buy this, do that, join it together. So maybe as it goes a bit further, it introduces more puzzle elements, which is what's the good bit about Dorfromantic, really.
So it's not like Dorfromantic in the way that you have a run, and you run out of tiles.
It doesn't feel like it. No, it feels like you're just accepting these quests and going on. Whether it gets to the stage, if you fail a question, you start again, I'm not sure. I didn't get that far, but it certainly didn't feel like you were just starting a run and you were going. It felt like you were playing a game with quests.
Okay.
A lot of promising games there. Very cool. Maybe next week we can have a little look ahead to some upcoming games, or maybe a look back at the games of this quarter as well. But that's cool. Alex, somewhere in the show notes here it says you want to talk about a Kulebra.
A Kulebra, yeah.
What's that all about?
I mean, and it's just it deals with like some limbo.
Kulebra for Limbo.
No, so I've finished 2 games on my Switch.
Get out.
2 games on my Switch too, yeah. And I feel like one of these games I played more in one day than I played in the whole year of a Switch. It felt like, because one game I played 6.5 hours in one day, which I've not done that on a Switch for a long time.
Hell.
But that was Kulebra and the Souls of Limbo. So this is a game, it's from Fellow Traveller, who published your
Citizen Sleeper,
After Love and Citizen Sleeper 2, those games. So they have quite a good pedigree of like the indies they work with. And it's just released on console. I think it's maybe been out on PC for a wee while, but it's certainly recently released on console and is on Game Pass. And I'd highly recommend people go and check this out. So what it is, it's basically a point and click adventure game, really at heart, but you are controlling Kulebra, who is this little snake who is in the afterlife essentially. And the whole purpose of the game is you're almost put on a quest to go and solve the issues of these souls so that they can basically pass on. Like a bit like Spiritfarer to a little extent, but more upbeat than Spiritfarer. You're kind of learning about the characters, but there's a bit more humour in it, and it's a bit brighter and it's not as depressing as Spiritfarer.
Thank fuck for that.
In that kind of way. And there's not the stupid mini games and stuff.
Right.
It's just you going around talking to characters, kind of seeing what they need. You're gathering things in your inventory as you go, and then it's like you can use those bits, and it kind of tells you when there's an idea to use them, or you can like combine them to like do different things. And it's that kind of classic point and click gameplay, but you're actually controlling the little snake, and it's all 2D, a really nice vibrant art style, almost hand drawn, I think. And there's essentially 4 main quests. You kind of work through 4 different stories, all kind of they're not interlinked. It's just that you're working up through the quest of the different areas of this limbo, to get to like the culmination of the game as you're gathering different bits and pieces as you go and meeting different characters to understand what's going on in the background. And that's how it all culminates. And I think about 10.5 hours it took me to finish it.
Pretty good.
And it was a nice 10.5 hours. Like I really, really liked it. It's just cool characters, cool stories, very straightforward for that type of adventure game. Like you'll never find yourself like, I have no idea what to do here. And then if you're that type of person, there's loads of collectibles to go and find. You've got pedals you can find. There's like messages and bottles like telling you different parts of like the story going on in the background about some of the other characters. And then there's different little souls that appear that are like side quests that you can go and help in like funny ways. Yeah, very, very, very good, very nice.
It looks good. Can I do a likening?
You can.
Paper Mario.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of art style, certainly.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, though.
Only on the art style.
Yeah.
Not anything else.
Yeah, I like the art
I've
style.
never lasted very long in a Paper Mario game.
I don't think any of us have. I feel like that is the one thing that we
Shame.
can unanimously agree on. Is like Mario RPGs are a bit meh. But no, this looks lovely. Very cool.
It does.
And 10 hours is that sweet spot.
Nice, sweet spot.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be a wee bit longer, I think, if you're trying to collect everything and stuff. But it's... And even actually, like, this one thing that I really liked about it is that there's boss battles in it as you're going, but you're not really battling the boss. It's like a puzzle maybe to get to them, and what you're doing in that your boss battle, it's asking you questions about the story. It's asking you to recall the bits of the story and like what the answers to
attention.
these different bits of the story are. It's actually quite nice, but it lets you answer them enough times. Like it increases like the level of darkness. So if you get them wrong too many times, you kind of need to start again. But it
Okay.
and it gives you multiple, like 3 choices to each question. So it's a nice way of doing it to make sure you are actually paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
How long to beat says 10 hours for main story. Main plus extra, 10.5 hours.
Wow.
Completionist, 11.5 hours.
I mean, it doesn't feel like there's loads to find. I think it could be one of those games, though, if it doesn't have something to point you in the way, you might struggle to find everything. But you don't need to.
That's cool. Remind us, how are we pronouncing this again?
Kulebra.
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 Very cool. Looks good. Looks lovely.
And another game that looked lovely was Please Touch the Artwork too. And I'd never played the original of this, and this is a much shorter game. I think you probably play the whole thing in about 2 hours. And again, it's basically a point and click
Right.
game, but it's just basically all these kind of famous works of art, but you have to interact with them to like solve puzzles to be able to move on to like I think there's like 5 chapters, and it takes you in through one picture, and then you can like walk. You're like this skeleton, and you can walk between the pictures to find different things. So it maybe be like there's candles in these 5 pictures, and it says you've got 5 to find, and give them to one of the characters in the picture, and then they'll want you to find something else, and then they'll want you to find something else, and it's just kind of finding the bits in the pictures. It's basically a hidden object game, but it's really quite a nice little palate cleanser. Like, see, just something for sitting for a couple of hours and enjoying, or like picking up and playing a chapter for maybe 15 minutes. Very, very good at that. And I think in Steam it might be free, and it's essentially
overwhelmingly
next to
positive as
nothing
well.
on Switch. Yeah, it's
It says free, and then it had Apple Arcade, Apple Store, and then something else.
Yeah.
You definitely. I think it's maybe a couple of pounds on Switch. It's not much.
Yeah, it's
but
free to play. Weird.
it's very good. It's weird. It's good. I'm trying. weird. Oh, just go. It's weird and it's good. There's
Yeah.
no point in me trying to just make up or find words for the sake
No.
of it.
Ultimate palate cleanser by the look
I'd
of it.
recommend it. Yeah. And I think they
I'm
announced a
downloading
new
it
one at
right
one of the
now.
showcases. It was like, please watch the artwork or something is like the next one.
Right.
It's like more something a bit more serious.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
cool.
looked too much into that, but
Nice.
very cool.
And those are your first 2 games that you finished on your Switch 2?
Yeah. First 2 of many.
How far
I'm a
we've come.
changed man.
We're not even a year in,
Wow.
and you're already moved on, finishing games on the Switch 2.
No, what's next in the list then?
What, to finish on the Switch 2?
1,000 Times Resist.
No.
Oh,
Alex, this is too much. This is just too much for me to cope with. I think this calls for a palate cleanser of another kind.
oh dear.
Yeah. So let's settle down for a game of Guess the Outro. That's for you, Reese.
Or phoning it in again, Lewis.
Well, you'll be pleased to know.
Wondered if we'll get more than one clue.
Yeah,
this
you've got
week.
3 clues, so shut the fuck up, all right? We're going to start off with... So, but here we go. Guess the game I'm thinking of. That will be the outro music. Simple as that. Okay? Clue number 1. From Polygon.
Put that Pokemon.
Sure. No one streamer I've watched played the... Sorry, let me start again. No one streamer I've watched played entirely the same. That's your clue.
Can I just say I know that it's Porygon for anyone crying at the fact that I say that for Polygon.
I can imagine all the angry listeners.
So it sounds like it could be something like a blueprint or something like that, where you can tackle it whatever way you want to.
Yeah.
How will you whittle that down?
So,
10 questions.
right, Lewis, you ask one of your stock questions first. Go.
Only a shite
Right.
questions.
And I'm shite questions. Character name and title.
Character name and title. No.
Is that an indie?
Yes. Indie.
Is it, let's go, I think genre, so like puzzle, something else, and another one?
That's the only one.
Because you've said blueprints, and I think it's got puzzle in my head. What about puzzle? Platformer. RPG. What?
I was just going to say something else with a P, but I couldn't think of something else that began with a P.
Puzzle, platformer, PRPG.
Let's do one more. And rhythm game.
Rhythm. PPRR. Is it a puzzle, platformer, RPG, or rhythm game? No. None of them. Question 4.
Don't see... No, it's none of those. What else do we normally ask? I'm a bit lost.
Same. What else do we normally
You
ask?
can't do any worse than you did last week. Keep that in mind.
Well,
No, that's a good challenge, Ben.
take the game into consideration.
And from now on, we could ask about everything that's not indie games because we know it's an indie. That would be worse.
Alex? What about like it could do? Is it a small development team? Doesn't really narrow it down, I guess.
No.
Is it a single player game?
Yeah, try that.
Ben, is it a single player game?
That looks like a hard question.
Or is Frozen?
Are you asking me if it's only a single player game? I'm trying to help you out here.
Right, sack that question.
Okay, let's not ask that. Let's Sounds like it's...
Well, that's a bit wrong, isn't it? That's a bit unethical of you both.
Well, remember in Aladdin when Aladdin tricks the genie to get out of the cave?
So I'm Robin Williams. In this
Aye.
instance.
I mean, any more your luck.
I
You
have a
get back
street
in the
rat.
lamp.
That's one Disney movie I watched. There we go. Come on, question 4.
Is it?
Classic.
Is it a whole new world?
Oh, that's a good question. Is it part of is it part of a
No,
series?
not part of a series. Question 5.
Oh, did we get a clue?
After 5. Although I'm of a mind to not give you an extra clue because you've
Why?
you've bent the rules, and it's
Right,
left
we'll
us
just ask
it's
that
left a
question
sour
then
taste.
well, let's just slap
didn't
that
taste
sour
it,
taste
but-
out his mouth. Is it a single player only game?
No, it's not a single player or anything.
Right, there we go.
Okay.
We should get an extra clue.
Clue number 2. This is a great clue, by the way. So
I'm sure it is.
thank me later.
We'll be the judge of that.
It's an incredibly low bar.
It won a BAFTA for best game.
For best game.
Yeah. How many games could that possibly be? There you go.
There's one every
I've
year.
hooked you up.
It must be something like Hades then.
Some pish. We had Hades before though.
Have we? I don't think we have. Have we? But then it's got a sequel, so it's part of a series.
That's right.
Is the sequel out though?
Yeah.
Does it count?
Technically.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think it needs to
hasn't
count.
hit 1.0.
No, this is outrageous.
Yes. I'm trying to think of other games that won a BAFTA for best game.
Is it Celeste? I think that's kind of platforming those. Isn't it?
That was a platformer, yeah. I mean, what about time, workout time?
Yeah.
Time?
How far do you want to go?
10 years, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
Released in the last 10 years.
Yes. Question 7.
Go back to Jordan.
Yeah, okay. What else can we have? Sport.
Sport.
Sport. All the other types of games that you have.
What kind of game
action.
could it?
Action.
Adventure.
Technically, game. Adventure.
FPS.
Oh yeah. FPS.
Right, give me 3. Come on.
Right. Should we go FPS?
F.
That's frames per
PS.
second.
Frames per second. There are frames per second in this game. Yep.
That's a great clue. FPS. Sport. It's not going to be a
and action.
kind of sport game. Yeah,
Sport.
okay.
Sport and action. No, it's none of them.
Oh, come on. There's no other game type. There's no other genre there.
What genre is it like?
Question 8.
Walking sim?
I'm going to make a note. The future clue format is how many frames per second the game runs at. That'd be handy. This runs at a locked 60. And it's made in Unity.
Last 10 years. BAFTA. Indie. Character name not in title. Other clues.
All the pieces are there.
Not just a single player game. Or not. I mean, is it, I suppose, is it, if we go the other way, is it just a multiplayer game? Something like Among Us.
Oh, do you think that would have won a BAFTA?
Aye. Or like shitest game of the year or something.
And the BAFTA for this game of the year.
Presented by the Mimics Veil. Yeah. That's actually a great... We should do that this year. For the coolies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it should be put just out. We should see if it's only multiplayer.
Yeah.
I mean, is it multiplayer only, Ben?
Question 8. It is not multiplayer only.
Right, so it's not that.
Question 9.
Can't even think what that.
Here we go. What have we played it?
Yes.
We have played it. Does that mean all of us?
You should have asked that. Number 10.
Well,
Question 10.
I'm just clarifying.
You said we.
Yeah, the royal we. All of us.
Question 10.
You just wait until episode 50. Just fucking wait.
That's not fair to me.
Okay, final question. What's really going to help you push this one over the line? All the pieces are there.
I bet it's fucking like I bet it's a strategy game, some strategy shit from like Tactics
Now he's
Town.
being rude to me.
The personal attack.
Dear, oh dear.
I don't know. Like, hopefully this last clue will be good.
It is good. If that reassures you, it is great. It's one of the best ones I've come up with.
You see that every single week.
It is genuinely good.
I can't think of other platform like other genres.
Should we say is it a platform? Is it a platform exclusive?
Oh, we might as well have not asked that yet.
Yeah. Is it a platform exclusive?
It is not a platform exclusive.
Right.
It is a right slag of a game. Okay, so final clue is the developer is on the UK's top 30 richest gamers and creators in 2024.
And that.
God, I know someone who likes that kind of information as well.
You can't phone a person, I'm afraid.
No.
The UK's top 30 richest gamers and creators 2024. Eyes on me, Alex.
It must be quite a big game.
Like GTA 5? No, that's older than 10
Not
years.
an indie game.
Isn't it? Yeah, classified as indie.
I mean,
Yeah. Good luck to him with their next game.
Take Two are the biggest indie publisher out there.
Right, what was that last one?
The UK's top
gross
30
sales.
richest gamers and creators in 2024.
Richest gamers and creators in 2024.
That doesn't necessarily mean that's the public, because gamers and creators isn't like developers and.
Yeah.
I mean, which gamers made a game that was good?
I'm
won a
I'm
BAFTA.
so closely watching your eyes, Alex.
Why?
Just
You think I'm cheating?
Wow.
Like my hands are here. There's my phone. There's nothing on it.
okay. I'm watching. I'm watching. Any guesses? Okay. I mean, you don't need to stare directly.
What
at the camera,
about...
that's unsettling.
wait a minute.
Go on.
I think we just... I don't know, right?
I don't know why.
Surely this never won. This never won. But I think we're at the point now where we just have to randomly guess.
We're
Aye.
at that time of the evening.
So I'm going to... Do you have any games in mind?
For some reason, I keep thinking, thank goodness you're here, but it wasn't that
Well-
successful for them to like win.
That's what I was thinking.
Aye.
So do I just guess that?
Might as well go for that then. Aye.
Thank goodness you're here.
It's not. Thank goodness. Yeah. Good guess, though. Good guess. You're going to kick yourselves, though. When I tell you. It's Vampire Survivors.
Oh, fuck off.
Alex!
Alex. Oh, he's been distracted by his Switch. doesn't care about Vampire
I was playing
Survivors.
Vampire Survivors on my Switch.
Yeah.
I uploaded my cloud save and everything.
Oh yeah, because that's just been updated, hasn't it, with all of that
Yeah.
cross progression and stuff. Yeah.
Then I can put it back on my Xbox and it pops the achievements.
God damn. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, I can't believe that.
I'm shocked. I thought you'd get it. I thought you'd get it from the BAFTA thing, and then I thought you'd definitely get it from the 30 richest gamers and creators.
But we didn't even click,
Yeah.
to be honest.
But yeah, there we go. Vampire Survivors, and that was a
Oh, well.
patron submission from Tyler. So thank you, Tyler. And
Surprised it wasn't awful, to be fair.
yeah. And if you are a patron and you're listening and you want to submit a game, just let us know. We've got links in the show notes so you can submit a guess the outro suggestion. It's always nice.
Which song are you going to play?
Tyler actually requested Mad Forest, which
How's that go?
there you go, just like that.
End podcast.
Podcast. There we go. Copyright strike that, bitches. But yeah, so that is it's a good game. It's obviously. I mean, we don't need to talk about Vampire Survivors anymore. We all like it. We've all played it.
No.
And we all love it.
We all love it.
I'm sure we'll play it again for many, many years to come. In the meantime, let's enjoy this Mad Forest from Vampire Survivors.